Hi, it's Adam back from the Rubik's Cubed, and today I have an octagonal barrel tutorial. So let's get into it. So this was suggested by a viewer very recently on one of my old videos, and the video was not that good. It was a tutorial. So I took that tutorial down, and I decided to post a new one to help with any confusion on that old one. And I know that a lot of people did not view that, but just in case anybody is looking for a good octagonal barrel tutorial, I'm going to provide one right here. So for this tutorial, you need to know how to solve a 3x3, and that's about it. So to start off here, we're just going to take a look at some of these pieces. What an octagonal barrel actually is just a 3x3 with corners cut in half. So if you know that, then it kind of tells you that an octagonal barrel basically is a 3x3. So because that I have this piece, this edge piece, for example, cut down in half, and these corners cut down, we can come across a few different weird parity cases. And so some of those parity cases are what really stump people on the octagonal barrel. So I'll be going over how to solve those. But first we have to get the first two layers. So like on a normal 3x3, we're going to first start off by getting across. I start on my white side, so we're going to look for full edges, so not cut down ones such as this pink one, but a full edge like this orange and yellow right here. So here's one right here. So this one is green and white, and so we have to make our cross by, just like on a 3x3, by matching up white with white and green with green. So that was pretty quick. I did that pretty quickly. So to give you a good idea about how this is done, I'm going to move over to a 3x3. So if you're having some trouble figuring out how to make the cross on this, we can just take a look at a 3x3. So how would you do it on a 3x3? So first, I'm going to do this in a very simple way. Let's get this red up to the top. So first you would get the white up facing to the top, then you would match it with this color and put it down. So what you would do on a 3x3, you can do on an octagonal barrel because it's the same exact thing. So you can see right here that they match. So here's one. Let's put that up to the top. And now since we knocked this one out of place, we're going to put it back like that. Now we can match it with this color and just put it down. So it's the same exact thing. And now we see this is already matched, so I just had to put it down. This right here, I can insert like that. And that's my cross. So what that last piece I just put in, if you don't know how to do that already and you're a beginner and trying to learn advanced cross, you can see here that my white is not facing up. So what I do is I just match it like this, using an R prime or an L. And then I use the F move to put it down, and then I undo my setup move, like that. So the next step, just like on the 3x3, is to get our corners. And so if you already got the basic idea that, oh, the octagonal barrel is a 3x3, I can solve like a 3x3, and you know CFOP already, you can go ahead and just start solving this using CFOP. If not, we are going to work on the corners using beginner's method. So F2L also is easier on this cube because the edges don't have an orientation, which is something that we'll get into, which is what causes parity, basically. One of the two ways parity is caused. So first we're going to insert corners by, these are our corners right here. So we're going to find our white corners. They have 2 colors instead of 3. And then we're going to find our green side. So we don't have a green side. And the reason this is because when we cut down our pieces, when we cut them in half here, we make this side right here a whole nother color. And so we don't really know where the green goes. So we can insert it wherever we want. And this is what causes another parity, because if we put the green in the wrong spot, it may look solved, but it causes parity on the top layer, which is something that we'll also get into. But for right now, all we have to do is insert our corners normally, like we would. Like for example, here's a gray one. I can do my RU, R prime U, over an empty slot until it's inserted. There we go. This one's already inserted for us, so we have one more right over here. And I'm just going to insert it a faster way, like that. And that's our first layer. So to give you a refresher, just in case, we insert our corners by using the algorithm RU, R prime, U prime. So first we find where the corner has to go. So on the octagonal barrel, it can go anywhere. And then we put it over an empty slot. So on the octagonal barrel, you would put it over the empty slot. On the 3x3, you would put it over the correct slot. So this is red, green, and you do RU, R prime, U prime, RU, R prime, U prime, until it inserts the correct way. And that's how you would do the whole first layer on the octagonal barrel. So now for second layer, we have something similar to first layer corners on the octagonal barrel in that we have an orientation that doesn't really matter. So we can put this edge so that it's matching its other color that's on its corner, but we don't have to flip it in a way so that it matches in any direction. So for example, if I were to look at this 3x3 and let's find an edge on the top layer right here, and I was just to insert it like this, oh, we're good. It matched correctly, right? But if I were to insert it like this, it doesn't match. Now this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter on an octagonal barrel because there's no orientation. So I can go like this, and it inserted correctly. And I can go like this, and it inserted correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the algorithm on the 3x3 to insert our edges. So if you're at this tutorial, you already know the algorithms. I'm just making sure you understand how the 3x3 translates to this cube, and that's why I have the 3x3 over here, and I was showing you how to insert corners again. So you can execute that algorithm right now, and if you don't know it, I'll leave it on screen. There we go. But I wouldn't recommend really watching this video unless you know how to solve a 3x3 because it would be very difficult to follow. Anyway, we are going to take our black edge now and put it next to the black. There we go. And so now we're going to do this with our pink edge because this is a pink corner. We're going to put it next to our pink corner by putting in this slot right here. And we're doing our left insert. And now we have one more, this gray right here. And now here's where it becomes difficult. So the last layer of the octagonal barrel is where it starts to become a little bit tricky because we have two possible parities that we can have. On a 3x3 over here, we can see that we have a bar. The other possibilities are a L, a dot, or a full cross. But on an octagonal barrel, we have actually many more different cases that we can get, and this is because there's a slight parity. So this is the other case that the octagonal barrel can have, and of course we have multiple orientations. This piece can be here, 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 wherever. But this is the first parity. And the way this happens is because one of these edges are flipped, but you don't know it because it doesn't look like they have orientation, but they actually do. So what you have to do is you have to take out an edge and flip it back in the right way. So for this particular case, we would line it up so that the extra edge is on the right-hand side, and then we would take out this pair right here and flip it. So I'll put an algorithm on screen, but I like to do this part intuitively. So I just take out the pair like this. So that's up here. Then I separate the pair like this. And then they're right here, back here, and here. And then I can just insert it like this. And there we go, it's solved. For example, switch this around over here. Then we could switch this right here. And our parity is solved. So we're going to put our extra edge on the right and then switch this pair over here. And that is how you solve that parity. So that is actually the first parity that comes up right here. But a little while later, we can see the other possible parity. So we're going to move back to a 3x3. And if you remember, you solve the top layer by doing the top cross. And then we pair up the edges. So we're going to do the top cross on this one, just like we would on the 3x3. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And then you solve the L. And then you solve the bar. And you have your cross. And just like you would on the 3x3, we now find two that are matched up. These two are matched up. And do RU, R prime, U, R2U, R prime, U. So, let's say here. Nothing's matched up yet. Now everything's matched up. All right, so everything was already paired. But if they weren't paired, for example, if it looks like this, then we would just do what we normally do, which is to find two that are paired up. So you can see right here, these two are paired up. And then do RU, R prime U, R2U, R prime U. And there we go. So now, on a 3x3, we would find a solved corner. So there are none. So we would do our algorithm U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And so we're going to do the same step on this one. So this black does not match this color right here, so that's not good. This gray does not match this pink. This pink does not match the black. And this green does match, so we're going to put it on the right and do U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And we have all of them matched up. All right, so they're all matched up. And so when this happens on a 3x3, as you probably already know from somebody 3x3, the next thing we do is flip it upside down and then solve the corners, or reorient the corners. So using R, U, R prime, U prime. So we're going to do the same thing on this octagonal barrel. First, we're going to flip it upside down, put the unsolved corner on the bottom right, and do R, U, R prime, U prime over and over again until our corner is solved. Then we're going to turn the bottom layer and do it again. R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. Solved. Flip the bottom. R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. Then we can orient this part right here, and we have a solved octagonal barrel. So you may be wondering, where is the second parity? So let me set up the second parity right now. So if you take a look at this, we have one corner solved, right? So we're going to do the algorithm here, right? No, actually. You'll have to check on the octagonal barrel each corner because we have another one solved here. But these two aren't, and this is an impossible case on the 3x3. And so you may be wondering, how is this possible on an octagonal barrel then? So similar to how our flipped edge worked, these pairs all together don't have orientations between these edges. So similar to how we would flip one of these edges and we wouldn't know until we get a parity, we could switch two pairs. So I can put the black here and the pink here, and I wouldn't know it until the last layer. So all we have to do is just switch any two pairs. So if I want to switch these two, I would do it intuitively, but if you don't know CFOP or F2L, then you can use the algorithm on screen. So I'm just going to do it intuitively first. Okay, there we go. And now this is a case that you can solve. And now if we go ahead and solve it, we go back to our permutation of our edges right over here. And then we go to our corners. And then we orient our corners, just like on a 3x3. And then we're done. And so that is how you solve an octagonal barrel using the 3x3 as a guide. So I hope you understand now the connection between the 3x3 and the octagonal barrel. And now that you understand how those parities work, you can probably make the octagonal barrel a much easier puzzle than it was before. So tell me if you thought this tutorial was much easier than the other one down below. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions for me to improve my videos, you can leave them down below and that would be much appreciated. Like, share this video, and follow me on social media in order to be awesome. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.